there, it's Leslie, and I can't tell you how happy I am to be connecting with you right now. It has been way too long, for me anyway, and I hope that you're doing well. I'm sitting here with Mount Tam behind me there at a dog park here in Marin that I take my little doggy Indy to once in a while. And I wanted to share with you, it's been a long time since I've been in touch with you, and I kind of need to tell on myself a little bit. And I want to talk about also just how that relates to how we can just really hold ourselves back from what we really, really want, and also, who we're really here to be and to do. So for me, the last few years have had some big highs and some big lows. I met a wonderful man about 1.5 years ago and fell in love. And I also really struggled with kind of letting more of my creativity out and how that related to how I went about my business. I hit a kind of a financial bottom, and I really want to share more about that. And I will in the future, because I think there's so much, that I want to share about it, as well as that there's just a lot of that hopefully other people can be served from in my sharing of that. And I even just recently had a little bit of a health scare because I basically got the universal 2x4, pardon me, and got hit over the head with not a 2x4 literally, but I knocked myself feeding my dog in the kitchen really hard, and I actually got a concussion from it and had to take off, several weeks of working and not have any screen time. It's amazing how much we rely literally on our physical well-being with our brain, and so that is a whole nother story in itself. But, they say that you get the whisper and then the 2x4 and then the Mack truck sometimes in your life when you're not aligning to truth, when you're not, keeping it real with yourself, when you're not, making some changes as they're needed. And so I think that for me, the concussion, which was like the week of my birthday, it was so in some ways disappointing, but gosh, I was so grateful for my health overall. And I know people encounter just ferocious accidents and horrible things. We all go through our share of things in life, but it really had me both counting my blessings as well as realizing how vulnerable my health is and how much I take for granted. The luxury of reading, that's one of my biggest pleasures, is reading and devouring books, and I couldn't read for a while. So anyway, but the concussion on a deeper level, I knew it was actually making me slow down so that I could really absorb some things on a personal level and a professional level that I wasn't really ready to deal with. And so, I'm kind of all over the place in this video, and I don't mean to be, but I'm also shooting a video because it's not as easy for me to write at length and to, I'm trying to kind of minimize my screen time. But I really wanted to share that, for me, I was holding myself back for a while because I was really afraid to come out of the spiritual closet with my work. It was so much safer for me when I launched a business back, 8 years ago, as a coach. And as soon as I did that, I started evolving into more of my spirituality. I've always been super spiritual, you know. I had initiations through my life, a significant one being when I lost my mom to cancer when I was 23, and her kind of being a bit of a teacher there for the 2 years she was battling cancer, around wanting to work on our spiritual connection, and that really initiated me on many levels. But when I became a coach, I just started, very quickly kind of evolving out of the initial way that I had branded myself as a love and relationship coach. I'm still super passionate about supporting women and empowering them to love themselves into a level of relationship that they want, as well as other things in their lives. But I felt really boxed in, and then when I went through divorce, or a separation at least, about 5 years ago, and moved from the city to Marin, I started really on a deep dive into a whole program and studied for about 4 years, everything from clairvoyant training to reading past lives to doing energy work. And so it really became a love and something that was really easy for me. And I've been slowly integrating it back into my mentoring clients and the way that I work with women. But I still felt like I really didn't know how to bring it more to the surface in just my day-to-day, shares. And so I have, but I haven't really, officially. I have in social media groups I'm a part of, and I have in kind of the quote real world in the ways that I've worked with women. But there's still a piece that's needed to kind of integrate more. And so I share all this with you because A, it just feels great to kind of unofficially come out of the closet with you. And also I hope to serve someone who might be feeling that it's so hard to, rebirth yourself, which is really kind of what we do when we go through big changes, whether it's a career shift, maybe leaving corporate, or reinventing your whole business if you're an entrepreneur, or getting back into the workplace if you've been a mom for 10 years and stay-at-home mom, to, obviously relationship stuff too. If you haven't been single for a long time and you're afraid to kind of get back out there, or you need to end a long marriage, or maybe even a short marriage that you've really identified with, it can be so scary. And I think for women, we can really make ourselves wrong sometimes for wanting to change, because there's a lot of guilt around, but my life's pretty good, and I look at the rest of the world and I know, that a lot of women are looking for a man, and I've got one, so why should I give him up? Or, gosh, I make this great money and I've built 15 years on this career track, and, I'm afraid to let that go. And so there just can be, I think, guilt and this fear of change. And I just know that, one of the challenges this past year has been that my dad was diagnosed with cancer, and I've already lost one parent. And so for the last 6 months, I've been, sorry, I'm going to get emotional. I've just been really loving him up and really wanting to connect with him in the ways that I can, and also really looking at the fragility of life. Honestly, between my dad's diagnosis and losing Prince, whom, I'd always been a fan of his music and was still listening to his greatest hits on my iTunes, but like the magnitude of him leaving the planet really sank in with me, because he was such a unique artist, obviously, and soul. He was so creative and so unabashedly him. And so that has, I think, many of us really taking into account, what we haven't yet done and who we're really here to be. And it's definitely been sitting with me. And so thanks for letting me share and connect with you today. And I didn't expect this to be such a long video, but it is. And I definitely plan to do more videos. So I'd love to hear from you. If you have any thoughts about, something that's holding you back, I'd love to support you. Feel free to reply to the email and just let me know. And I hope you had a great Memorial Day weekend, and I'll look forward to connecting with you soon. Okay, bye.